Good morning, everyone. Class FIPSC, first semester, paper number second, that is animal ecology. In that animal ecology, we study the last chapter, that is chapter number 5, animal interactions. In that animal interaction, in last lecture, we start this chapter and आपण पाहिलं त्याच्यामध्ये different types of animal interactions are involved in their interrelationships between the animals. Some same animal species involved, then this interaction is called as interspecific interrelationships, and different species involved in this is called as intraspecific. So after that, in that firstly we seen the intraspecific interrelationships. In that intraspecific interrelationships we start the competition. The competition, it is the first or major animal interactions performed in between the same type of species or same animals. In that competition, firstly they are associated to each other. We seen the association. In that association, competition for food and competition for different purposes, we all are seen. After that, aggregation. After association, they perform aggregation. So what is mean by aggregation? In addition to the associations, aggregation of an animal or plant of a single species frequently occur. ॲग्रिगेशन म्हणजे काय? आता एक पॉप्युलेशन कन्सिडर करूयात किंवा एखादी कम्युनिटी कन्सिडर करूयात. तर जेव्हा आपण एखाद्या ॲनिमलचं पॉप्युलेशन कम्युनिटी कन्सिडर करतो, सो इन दॅट animal community or in that animal population, their crowding nature can be performed. So crowding nature is in that different species or different members of animal is present, they aggregate to each other. Crowded nature can be performed and the process is called as aggregation. So crowding of animals is ecologically undesirable and deleterious. Both laboratory experiments and the field observations show that such aggregations of animals may be able to survive while a single individual of the same species placed in the same environment would die. It herd of the deer with many noses. आता ह्याच्यात पहा, जेव्हा आपण एखादा लॅबोरेटरिकल एक्सपेरिमेंट करूयात, कशासाठी एक्सपेरिमेंट करूयात, सो we seen the perform aggregation, the behavior of aggregation animal perform in the same species. जेव्हा ती एकत्र येऊन राहतात एखाद्या कम्युनिटीमध्ये किंवा एखाद्या पॉप्युलेशनमध्ये, तेव्हा ते जे ॲग्रिगेटरी बिहेवियर शोन करतात. So this behavior is present in species placed in same environment. एकाच environment तेव्हा जे present असतात आणि after this environment some will be die and some will be survive. So a herd of deer with many noses and pairs of eyes is less likely to be surprised by a predator than a single deer. The wolves hunting in a pack are more likely to make a kill than is a lone wolf. The survival value of intraspecific aggregation is less obvious but nonetheless real. In some of the lower animals, a group of insects is less likely to dry up and die in a dry environment than is a single insect, and a group of planaria is likely to be killed by a given dose of ultraviolet light than is a single flatworm. आता एखादा इन्सेक्ट पाहिला आपण, मग त्या सिंगल इन्सेक्ट पकडण्यासाठी किंवा सिंगल इन्सेक्ट मारण्यासाठी जास्त मेहनत करावी लागते ॲज कम्पेअर टू ग्रुप ऑफ इन्सेक्ट और ॲज कम्पेअर टू अ कम्युनिटी ऑफ इन्सेक्ट. फॉर एक्झाम्पल, अ प्लॅनेरिया अल्ट्राव्हायलेट लाईट यूज करून त्या पॅनेलियाचा ग्रुप आपण काय करू शकतो, डाय करू शकतो. बट सिंगल प्लॅनेरिया डाय करण्यासाठी जास्त मेहनत घ्यावी लागेल. So this aggregatory behavior can be useful. When a single goldfish is kept in a bowl and the same amount of toxic agent like colloidal silver is added to each bowl, the single fish will die but the group will survive. आता एखादा ग्रुपमध्ये, दिस इज द बेस्ट एक्झाम्पल ॲट द लॅबोरेटरी लेवल. वेन वी सी द गोल्ड फिश इज प्रेझेंट इन म्युझियम, सॉरी म्युझियम नाही, फिश टँकमध्ये, जे ॲक्वेरियम आपण लॅबोरेटरी कंडिशनला म्हणा किंवा आपल्या घरात फॉर द पर्पज ऑफ कशासाठी आपण यूज करतो ॲक्वेरियम, ॲज अ शोपीस म्हणून यूज करतो. मग त्या ॲक्वेरियममध्ये जी गोल्ड फिश यूज केली जाते, दिस गोल्ड फिश, आता एक 2 बाउल घेतलेत, एका बाउलमध्ये सिंगल गोल्ड फिश आणि एका बाउलमध्ये अ बंच ऑफ गोल्ड फिश और ग्रुप ऑफ गोल्ड फिश ठेवला आहे. सो टॉक्झिक मटेरियल ॲड केला दोन्हीही बाउलमध्ये, सिंगल गोल्ड फिश पटकन डाय होईल आणि जे ग्रुपमध्ये गोल्ड फिश प्रेझेंट आहे तो ग्रुप जास्त वेळ सर्वाईव्ह होईल ॲज कम्पेअर टू सिंगल गोल्ड फिश. वाय दिस नेचर विल बी फॉर्म, कशामुळे हा रिझल्ट दिसून येतो, त्यांची कपॅसिटी, ॲक्युम्युलेट करण्याची कपॅसिटी. सिंगल फिश जास्त प्रमाणात ॲक्युम्युलेट करेल कारण तिथं तिला कुठल्याही प्रकारचं कॉम्पिटिशन नाही आहे. ग्रुपमध्ये कमी ॲक्युम्युलेशन होईल बिकॉज दे हॅव टू कॉम्पिटिशन इन बिटवीन देम, कॉम्पिटिशन इज फॉर्म फॉर द फूड पर्पज. After that, the reason for this is the amount of slime secreted by a fish is not sufficient to precipitate the colloidal silver, whereas the amount of slime secreted by the group of fish is enough to precipitate the colloidal silver and the render in non-toxic. सायंटिफिक रिझन काय आहे मागचं, द स्लिम जे अँटीटॉक्झिन्स आहे कशासाठी, कोलॉइडल सिल्वरसाठी, ते एका सिंगल गोल्ड फिशकडून कमी प्रमाणात सिक्रेट होईल ॲज कम्पेअर टू ग्रुप ऑफ गोल्ड फिश, त्यांच्याकडून ते स्लिम जास्त प्रमाणात सिक्रेट होईल. आफ्टर दॅट द क्वांटिटी ऑफ स्लिम इन्क्रीजेस, ऑटोमॅटिकली द प्रेसिपिटेशन ऑफ कोलॉइडल सिल्वर कॅन बी फॉर्म अँड द टॉक्झिन्स इज इनहिबिटेड. Next is social organization. In this competition behavior or competition interactions, animals form social organization. Social life is the highest development of intraspecific interrelationship. From simple animal aggregation, there may evolve complex animal societies composed of specialized type of individuals such as the colonies of bees, ants, and termites. True life is marked by close interdependence, mutual cooperation, and more or less marked division of labor among the individuals. The human being is an excellent example of a social animal. There is a basic difference between human society and the colony of any social insects. The colony of social insects, be it ants, termites, wasps, or bees, is especially an overgrown family in which the young continue to remain with the parents, relieve them of the work of enlarging the nest, defending the colony, foraging for food, sanitation, and other duties. The social life is not simple, the living together gregariously of numerous individuals, but the more or less pronounced division of labor, cooperation, and often also the marked polymorphism correlated with different duties. The sexual relationship and the care of the young ones are the simplest and most common forms of social behavior within a species. The social organization among insect is due to structural specialization. This is also called the polymorphism. The direct interdependence of each member upon other members of a population is responsible for communal life. Thus, the distinct castes are formed as in ants, termites, social wasps, and certain species of bees. These castes are social classes comprised of individuals with specialized structure which enable them to perform specialized functions. The certain individuals are suited for reproduction, whose sole function is to establish the colony and to reproduce the individuals that will comprise the other caste. Other individuals belong to the worker caste and they are generally sterile and function only to gather or to produce the food for the entire colony and to enlarge or maintain the existing living chambers. A third group of individual comprises the substance or the third group of individual comprises the soldier caste. Members are typically equipped with large jaws and often secrete a repellent substance. Their function is to guard the entrance of the colony and to protect the other caste. आता this is the social organization of termites. First is queen, then are king. After that, worker, mandibulate soldier, and nacid soldier are there. This is the social organization performed by a termites, and termites it is a nothing but the social insect. After that, the territoriality. Territoriality means the area or volume over which an individual animal roams during the course of its usual daily wandering and in which it spends most of its time is called as home range. When the home range is actively defended and it is called as territory. 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 The individuals of a territory defend against intrusion by other member of the same species and sex. Usually, a male establishes a territory of its own and then making by himself conspicuous tries to entice a female to share the territory with him. After that, several different kinds of territories are classified. First is fixed territories. The most territories are fixed territories, that is, they are in the same general location and stay about the same size. Robins, red-winged blackbirds, squirrels, and many other species maintain fixed territories. Next is moving or floating territories. The territories of some animals are moving or floating territories. For example, troops of baboons defend their sleeping trees and the areas in which they roam for food. As they move from sleeping sites to feeding ranges, their territorial requirements move with them, but their movement throughout the day causes the requirement for space to change. Then they approach a water hole to drink, all territoriality vanishes. They tolerate individuals from other troops at water hole but at no other time. This is the diagrammatic representation of moving of territory. आता animals can move from one place to another place. This is showing the moving or floating territories. The territories of some animals are moving or floating territories. For example, troops of baboons defend their sleeping trees areas. This is shown in next diagram. Next is nesting territory. Many seabirds, such as gulls, defend only their nest and the area immediately adjacent to it. That is, they have a nesting territory. Next is mating territories. Same male birds and female mammals such as grouse and sea lions defend territories used solely for breeding and termed as mating territories. Next is feeding territories. It is a widest type of territory. It occurs in a few insects, some fishes, numerous lizards, many mammals, and most of the birds. It has been suggested that territoriality may have survival values for a species in ensuring an adequate amount of food, the nesting material and cover for the young, in protecting the female and young against other males, and in limiting the population to a density that can be supported by the environment. Many species of birds and some mammals, fishes, crabs, and insects establish such a territories. Thus, the territoriality serve three main functions. First is protect to nest or den. Second is to provide a catch for food supply, and third one is to prompt an area for courtship displays. The next is interspecific relations. It is the relationship the individuals of different species. It involves the interrelation between plant species, interrelation between animal species, and interrelation between plant and animals. The different individuals may establish interrelations through their cooperation or disoperation. and the interrelationship may be either temporary or lifelong. It may be beneficial, harmful, or without any apparent effect. There are several categories of interspecific interrelations. First is neutralism. Neutralism occur when the individual of two different species or two populations function in often very close association but do not affect one another adversely or beneficially. बेनिफिटही करत नाही आणि हार्मफुलही करत नाही. नो अफेक्ट. सो इज 0 0. सेकंड वन इज सिम्बायसिस. इट विल बी 0 or प्लस म्हणजे बेनिफिटसुद्धा होऊ शकतो किंवा बेनिफिट होईल किंवा बेनिफिट होणार नाही. इट इज ॲन ॲनिमल असोसिएशन वेअर नो पार्टनर इज हार्म, वन और बोथ पार्टनर्स आर बेनिफिटेड. This is all about the interspecific and intraspecific interactions. After that, याच्यानंतर काही बेनिफिशियल असोसिएशन्स आहेत त्या आपण पुढच्या लेक्चरला पाहूयात. तोपर्यंत इथे थांबूयात. थँक्यू.